Hello everybody, I'm Matthew, also known as SamuraiHex, and welcome back to another episode of Tactical Masterclass. Yes, that is right, I've brought back Tactical Masterclass after the advice, of the comment from Sam. Thank you for commenting, who told me he would really like to see the series continue, possibly with another team, and I was like, you know what, I was thinking about bringing it back because it is one of my most well-viewed series of recent times. Considering I've got one video that was only out a few days and it already got to like 70 views, which was like crazy in like 2 days. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, we decided to, I decided to continue the series. Now, Sam, the commenter, wanted it to be ruining some other poor team. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be now using community-based tactics and just seeing how they do. So I've got a couple in the works currently, and that one's being used in this season, and the next one will be used in the next season, probably with the same club. But if you are looking forward to the return of Tactical Masterclass, why don't you give the video a like? It really does help the channel out. Why don't you subscribe for more FM23 videos? We've got this series, we've got a Zero to Hero Journeyman series, we've also got Champions of Bust with Godzilla, which is a director of football road to glory. So make sure you check them out as well. Why don't you also comment down below, commenting whatever the hell you want to comment. I don't mind what you say. It does help the algorithm, so I can appreciate every comment, every like and every subscription coming my way. Anyway, something you might have noticed is it's the 1st of July 2025. Nick Twitter's finally left Arsenal. They figured out he was a Spurs fan and was driven out of Arsenal training ground, barely escaping from the mob with his life. I don't think Arsenal fans are that evil, but Nitwit did evil things, so he probably deserves it, given everything. Yeah, so I've cheated again, by the way. I had to cheat once to click become unsackable again so I could actually resign, because if you have become unsackable on and you try and resign, it doesn't let you, which is a bit weird, but okay. And I've also set myself to max rep. I'll just show you max rep, max current ability and everything, just because as it just glitches out there, just because I can then most likely get any club around the world to hire me, because at the current point I was when I left Arsenal, I was a half-star, 1-star rep, so I'd probably only be able to get League, not even League 2, but National League North South teams, and even then that would be a stretch with all the relegations. So with the max rep, I should be able to get any job I want, and the aim is to apply for a load of clubs, attend the interviews, and the first one to actually give us the contract we join. If it's 2 or 3 on the same day, I'll do a randomizer, random number generator thing, and yeah, we'll end up picking whichever one it picks. But these are the teams that we can possibly join straight away, so I'm just going to go apply all. Obviously Arsenal will not want us. Something else you should know: the day I left the club, the day before I left the club, Arsenal went into administration again. That was not my doing once again. Probably my doing, actually, because I had Nitwit getting like 1.9 million a year, a week or something like that crazy by the end of the season, the start of this season. So yeah, that got them to minus 152 million in the bank, and yeah, that they've gone into administration again, which is bad for Arsenal, so they're probably getting relegated again. I have also done some other settings in the in-game editor just to check them out. So you can add rival clubs, favourite people and dislike people. So I've added the chairman, Paul Craig, as a permanent 100% dislike. I've also added myself as a permanent 100% dislike, but it's apparently gone down to 99 already, so they're already forgetting me. Yeah, Arsenal very much down the drain. Sorry, Arsenal fans. And here we are, the club. It's Port Vale. I got interviews at 3 clubs, and within the space of 6 days after leaving Arsenal, Port Vale offered me the job. So did a team in Spain, the Spanish 4th tier, called Sanza, that had just been relegated from the 3rd tier. And so I put it to randomised number generator, 1 or 2. 1 for Sanza, 2 for Port Vale, and it picked number 2. And yeah, so I've gone and joined Port Vale. Look at that, 2 wins, 6 draws, 138 defeats in my career. But yeah, Port Vale, they're currently in League 1. They just about survived relegation last year, when Arsenal of course went down along with teams like Portsmouth of all teams. They're also due to move into the Port Vale Stadium next year, which is going to be interesting. It's lower capacity apparently, but okay. Probably change the name of that with the in-game editor as well. Probably, the only thing I noticed is that they are currently insecure in the finances. They're also spending over by about 5,000, and there's no money to wiggle or anything, so I'm playing with a shoestring budget, and I'm not going to be using any nefarious means to give it to an advantage. I'm doing this now. Like, the only cheating I'll be using now is when I set my rating up to 500 max rep, as well as again, just in case there's a takeover at the club, click become unsackable so it doesn't ruin the whole tactic test, because that can happen and I don't want that happening. But you have probably clicked on this video, seen the thumbnail, and you might have even seen in the description below that I've linked the link to the tactic. This is the first tactic we're using on the renewal of Nick Witt's career after his disastrous time at Arsenal, or successful time if you're a Spurs fan. But yeah, it's the Godzilla 4132, which is created by FMDNA. If you want to check him out, like I said, I've got him all the description below, and if you somehow follow me on Twitter or whatnot, I've probably added him on the video thing, promotion, so you should be able to find him on there as well. But yeah, make sure you sub to him on his YouTube channel, follow him on Twitter, all that good stuff, and try out this tactic. Summer window has ended, and as you can see, we're currently top of the league with this new tactic. Let's first go on the results. We played all these friendlies. We ended up winning 4 though and drawing 1 against Barnet, which wasn't good, but hey. I don't think that was me, was it? Actually it was. Must have played a lot. I don't take control of the friendlies. I make it my assistant manager, and my assistant manager's not that good. So yeah, he probably messed up. But we've played Cambridge in the first game, won that 3-0. We ended up going to actually playing at home to Sheffield United in the AFL Cup first round. Sheffield United, crazily, if it lets me click it, managed by Eric Ten Hag. They recently just missed out on promotion to the Premier League after yo-yoing a bit. Of course, in real life and in the game as well. But yeah, we lost 5-0. We then ended up going to Sheffield Wednesday, one of the biggest teams in League 1, actually winning that 5-0, so justified. I'm also win League 1 and get to the Championship, then win the AFL Cup first round and get into the Conference League as a League 1 club. But yeah, we also played Sutton and Lincoln and beat both them 2 sides. And yeah, transfers. Not much to say has happened. First off, Paul Ure, he's gone out on loan to Western Supermare, who are in the National League South. And these are the players we signed. We signed Travis Patterson on a zero loan contract from Aston Villa, I think. Yeah, Aston Villa. Now the thing is, he was with us last season when I wasn't at the club for the last bit of the half of the season, so they've let him come back on loan here. He's probably our star player. We also signed Sean Mavdidi, another cheap loan contract. He's from Newcastle. I've had to put star player, otherwise I couldn't afford his wages. But he'd probably be a regular starter or something like that. Bailey Smith, another star player, loan contract, this time from Brighton. The only way we could get his loan contract that low down and actually signing him was by setting it to star player. He'll probably be squad player, regular starter as well. But then the only permanent signing joining us permanently is Ben Wilkinson, who's on £100 per week, recently released by Leeds United. He has a load of decent potential ability, and if he could reach at least half of that, he'll be a very good player for us, either in the Championship or in League 1, or if we get relegated, League 2. You never know. And the last player, which was direct football signing, was Oliver Babatunde, who comes in on loan from Hull. He's finally a squad player. No loan contract. That's how we managed to get him. That's how direct football managed to get him. And hopefully he will be a good player for us as well. Now, if you're wondering how this is going to work now with Port Vale, because it's going to turn, this Tactical Masterclass is now going to be turning into a Journeyman save. Where when I join the club, I have a idea of where we're going to get the club at to. So, Port Vale, if I go and show League 1, I expect to finish 21st. We're actually 150 to 1, but because we're doing so well, given the side, the odds have gone up and we've gone up a bit. But yeah, the aim is to become a playoff contending championship side. So the aim currently is to get top half this season, playoffs next season, promotion third season, solidification in the championship fourth season, which is just roundabout. It might be earlier, it might be later, and eventually get to the playoffs with Port Vale into the championship. And the aim is if we get to the playoffs, but we're still a lower league, low down media prediction in the championship. We'll have to get to the top 6 in ratings on media prediction. Otherwise, whoever takes over will probably ruin the club and we'll get relegated, which I don't want to see happen. I want to see Port Vale do well, so we're aiming for the media prediction to be top half / playoff contending championship side. But things have happened. First off, Ben Garrity completely and utterly hates me. He's already opted to leave and he is massively unhappy. Mostly because I fined him for a dismissal against Lincoln, and then I changed him from regular starter to squad player, and then he got unhappy again while he now is concerned he wants to move to a bigger club. So he's triple unhappy. We also got Nathan Smith, who's also unhappy because I've demoted him a tiny bit on squad status. But in terms of the games, yeah, not as good. You might have seen it earlier when I went to the League 1 side, but yeah, we ended up playing Preston in the EFL Trophy. Lost that on penalties, so we only got a point. We ended up beating Swindon, we ended up losing to Burton, drew against Wigan, lost against Wigan quite heavily, lost to Plymouth heavily, lost to Bolton in the EFL Trophy, and drew against Rotherham, lost against Colchester, drew against Bolton again, this time in the league, and then lost against Shrewsbury. And at this point I knew that the morale would tank, and when the morale gets a certain threshold of low, which it was at that point, you're never going to bring it back, like, at all, most likely, and you're going to just get sad no matter what tactic you use. So I was worried for a second that I've kind of messed up the tactic, because the tactic's really good. I have tried it in my personal save where I'm managing in Guyana, a little Journeyman director football series that I'm doing there, and I've won the league in the first season when we were like expected to finish 10th out of a team of 12 teams. So yeah, it's a good tactic. Somehow managed to bring it back though. We got a good result against Barnsley, drew that 1-1, but then ended up playing Preston, another good sign, and winning that 3-1. And then thankfully we got Lincoln in the FA Cup and winning that, and then we got an easy tie against Aston Villa under 21s and won that 4-1. So hopefully that's helped us with the dynamics, which it has. So yeah, hopefully now we can push up and get what I was expecting to get, which is top half or even playoff or edge of playoffs by the end of the season. Games have happened again. So since the game against Aston Villa, it went a bit wrong again. We lost Charlton, Ipswich, Birmingham, so lost all 3 of those in the league. We then drew against Preston in the FA Cup and lost against Bristol Rovers. Very harsh result there, given that we scored 3 goals. We then ended up going to Exeter though and winning, and we ended up beating Preston away from home in the FA Cup second round. We then played Birmingham, Forest Green and Plymouth, all won those, and finally we've just lost to Forest Green. Other things that have happened, Ben Garrity is still unhappy. He's actually decided, you know what, I'm leaving on a free transfer. So we are forced to sell him. Hopefully we can get good money. He's currently valued at 150, but I think that's the director of football setting the price. He set it low. I reckon we can get a bit more than that. Hopefully we can. We'll see what happens. And the January transfer window is now over. Ben Garrity, as you can see, is not there. Why is that? Is because we actually sold him to Salford for 250,000. A good deal there. Instead of letting the director of football dictate how much it was worth, I set up the highest or just above high, which was like 300 or 250 or something. And yeah, Salford came in with 250,000 bid. I ate it all up, and yeah, he's gone to that. And it's also done quite good for our finances. Still pretty bad. He's got us down on the wage budget as well, which is good. In terms of other things that have happened, Ben Wilkinson went on loan to Western-super-Mare, Reece Shields went on loan to Bainhead, and Festus Chale went on loan to Dorking. Some of them being even loan fees, which is good to see, giving us quite a lot of money, or good enough amount of money. And then in January we signed 2 players on loan. First was Lewis Phillips. This was director of football once again, squad player, holiday any loan contract. Ben Watt, who I think was me. Yes, this one was me. Regular starter, cheap loan contract. He's come and joined us, and hopefully he'll be a good player as well. And if he's good enough, we might even sign him in when his contract runs out in the summer. In terms of the games, January was unfortunately not the best. We did draw against Colchester, we beat Salford, we lost to Blackpool, lost to Crewe, drew against Bolton, beat Rotherham, lost to Shrewsbury, and drew against Swindon, which currently takes us to 13th in the league. We're still close to the relegation zone, but looking at it, it's a very tight league. A few bad results, we could get relegated. A few good results, we can reach top 2. Or, well, playoffs even. So, very close league, very close. More games have happened, as well as having a youth intake. So, we'll first show you the youth intake. Yeah, not decent, it's just below average. Anyone, I think Kashim Frank will be signed up, and probably the 1-star, 3-star potential. ability players will also be signed up. And also Terracotta White might be signed up as well. He's a 1-star current ability. Even though it's 2.5 stars, so we could get there. But yeah, those players are probably going to sign with us. I've already offered 2 of them a contract. Whether Direct Football recommends to sign Terracotta White, I might sign him as well. I don't know. We'll see. In terms of the results though, since last time, they've been going a lot better. A lot better. So we played Burton and Wickham, beat them both 3-2. Then went to Sheffield Wednesday and lost, unfortunately. Then did play Wigan and Barnsley and beat them both. We then drew against Preston, beat Bristol City, lost to Charlton, beat Cambridge and drew against Lincoln. And that currently takes us into nearing the end of the season, 9th place. So I don't think we can get relegated anymore. If currently Bolton and Sutton have got relegated, Plymouth are in the playoffs, or at least guaranteed playoffs. But it looks like they could get even higher than that. But yeah, we can. If we get a good run of results, we will get playoffs. The end of the season has happened. So the last 5 games of the season we won 2 of them against Sutton and Salford, lost 2 of them against Exeter and Ipswich, and drew against Crewe. Overall, that takes us to 12th. Top half. Like I said, I was aiming for top half, and that's what we've managed to get. So next year, with a new tactic and hopefully a better side, because we've actually built it up a bit, we will get playoffs. Just a tiny bit of things to say though before that we end the episode. We've signed a few players who are joining us, probably 2 from Liverpool, 2 from Man U. Youth players who have been released by the club. I tried to get a 5th one in as well, but he wanted about £700, which I just couldn't risk. These other ones are all on either £100, £200 or £300, which is a good deal. We have dropped down our wage bill, so that's why we could sign them. We've also been given £74,000 to spend next season. I actually think we've been increased on the wage budget as well, I'm not sure. Now for some reason it's not letting me show you the season review. Like, I got to the date where it popped up and then I had to save it so I could show you it on the recording. And because if you don't know how I do this, is I sim the season ahead, and then record it all after. If you wanted to know, I was aiming for top half either way. I'm not saying it because I wanted the tactic to look better. It's just literally because I wanted top half, and the tactic's got me top half, which is good. Yeah, I can't show you the season review unfortunately. But yeah, the tactic, Godzilla 4132. It's done its job. It has done its job. Given that at the start of the season, I think we were expected to finish 23rd with 151 odds. We are still meant to finish in the relegation zone, 50 to 1 odds. So we were at par with Brighton, but because of the season we've had, we've been up a tiny bit. 21st, I have 50 to 1 odds. So we're I think we're actually a mid-table League 2 side, in all honesty. And it shows you that this tactic's done good because it's got its top half. But if you want to try this tactic out, I'll link it in the description below. It's called Godzilla 4132 if you don't want to click the link. But it links you to FM Scout, which is a good website for tactics. If you also, I would recommend you follow FMDNA, the creator of this tactic, over on Twitter, and you can also sub to him on YouTube as well by searching FMDNA, or checking the also description below and clicking on the little link I've sent of his YouTube channel. If you want to support my channel though, you can like the video if you have liked it, comment saying what you thought of the season, what you thought of the tactic, whether you're going to use it or not. And yeah, subscribe to the channel for more FM23 content. And I'll see you all next time. Hex signing out. Bye everybody.